This is a very important issue that is important to the voters of Baltimore City. You know, voting is the linchpin of our democracy, and it should be held sacrosanct. That is, it should not be disturbed, and it should be available to our people inviolate. However, the election from April 26th of 2016 left a lot of questions behind. Questions that we haven't received answers for. There were multiple irregularities. There was misinformation. There were things that occurred that we shouldn't expect to occur from an office that has 4 years to prepare for times such as this. So this is not just about polls opening late or people giving misinformation about ballots, but it's the cumulative effect of all the irregularities that leads us to the conclusion that we cannot rely upon the election results. And that's what it's all about.
This, by all accounts, is at best the messiest election that we've had in the history of the city of Baltimore, and at worst, there is malfeasance and incompetence on the part of the director of the Baltimore City Board of Elections. And before I take my seat, if you had a job and you conducted yourself in the manner in which the head of the Baltimore City Board of Elections conducted himself, you will be fired. He is a full-time executive director. We will not allow for him to blame the malfeasance and the incompetence on the behalf of those volunteer election judges. They are contractual employees who work for him, and he had a responsibility to ensure that they were effectively and properly trained.
This registration form. On March the 10th, a new law took effect in the state of Maryland that former felons could vote. This form was not reflective of the new law. This form said that they could not vote. They could not vote if they were a convicted felon and they were still serving time, be it parole, probation, whatever. The result of that, on March the 10th, we were here, we were told that it should be a happy day. But as of the day before the primaries, as many as 35 people had received letters saying that they could not vote because they were convicted felons. What we don't know, we don't know what we don't know, but what we don't know is how many people may not have registered because they read this registration form saying that they could not vote if they were convicted felons. And so right there, we have to consider how many people have not registered to vote or did not take the opportunity to vote because of this document, which does not reflect the change in the law.
I got a call from my workers that were at Langston Hughes Elementary School. That was a new polling location for the 5th District. Bell Towers, that used to be under the Housing Authority, was a polling location for the 5th District, and the 6th District was sold. So the new location was moved to Langston Hughes. My poll workers called and told me 5th District voters were being turned away from Langston Hughes. How many votes did we lose in the 5th District because of the incompetency and lack of training of these election judges? I went down along with Mr. Irvin's representative, spoke to the head election judge at Langston Hughes, who blatantly said, this is not a 5th District polling location. I said, then take me around to every single table and pull the ballots and show me that my name is not on a ballot at this location. Then I will leave. She couldn't do that because when we got to the 3rd table, there was a 5th District ballot that had all 7 candidates for the 5th District on that ballot. Again, we called to the Board of Elections. The representative came down, spoke to this election head and another person, another election judge, who decided to carry on a personal conversation while someone representing the Board of Election was disciplining them, explaining to them that it was a 5th District location. So there was nothing taken of any context of anybody that cared about us, the voters, us, the people of Baltimore, us, the candidates. So again, how many discrepancies occurred at these polling locations throughout the entire Baltimore City, not just the 5th District? And as so many people said, how many people gave up their lives for this right for us to not just run for office, but to have our votes counted and our voices heard?